Yo, what's up? What's up, y'all? DJ Bop down here in Minneapolis at Indian Mound Park. Man, I know this was bigger. You know they didn't see right here. They didn't made it into a park and streets and all that, but it was bigger. This was a mound constructed by the indigenous American Indians in this region. There's another one over there. Shit. I'm walking up this thing. So yeah, this mound is thousands of years old. I know it just looked like a grassy hill, but nah, this was a mound built by the indigenous American Indians. Most likely who was relabeled as Negroes, blacks, colored, mulattoes, and then African Americans. But yeah. Yeah, man. Indian Mound Park. Well, it's actually in St. Paul. Actually in St. Paul. Okay, they got a little structure over here. The Indian structure. When I say American Indian, I ain't talking about no Native Americans. I'm talking about American Indian. People you would call today African Americans. So, yup. Man, I just been looking up Indian mounds every place that I'm gonna try to travel. If I travel somewhere, I'm gonna Google Indian mounds and see what's in the area, you know. I done seen some stuff in Kansas City. I'm like, man, that's a mound, man. For real. But yeah. Out here in St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm gonna go over here and check out this plaque they got. And yeah, I know this thing was larger. You can tell right there where it swope up to. There's another one over there. It's a whole, but you know how they done came through here and built this stuff on it, turned into a park. And you know, this whole area probably was just one big mound. They done cut through it. This is history, y'all. Look at over there. I'm gonna go walk over there too in a minute. Let me go check out this plaque. I can just see how it just stands high over the city. I think it's a river over there too. So let me check this out. Okay. The Indian Mounds Park Airway Beacon. Okay, what it say? St. Paul Downtown Airport Holman Field was constructed in 1926. Yeah, see, they didn't tow it up in 1926 to provide the city with air service and to facilitate the U.S. Post Office's contract airmail delivery. This airway beacon and others like it define the airway corridor, usually 10 miles wide. 10 miles wide. That's saying this whole thing was 10 miles. Yeah, there go the river down there. You always find rivers near a lot of miles. But yeah, let me see. It say, okay. That pilots use as their routes between Chicago and St. Paul. Airway beacons flash white instead of the standard white-green, which is used for airport beacon. Designed by the city of St. Paul's Bureau of Bridges, the beacon and tower were built in 1929 by the St. Paul Structural Steel Company. It exists virtually unchanged since being constructed and was refurbished to its original black and chrome yellow color scheme in 1995. I'm just looking right here. Let me see, because I'm waiting for it to talk about. And that's the beacon they talking about. Yeah, here go a little picture on it too. Okay, then say it's 24-inch diameter rotating beacon which sits atop the 110-foot tower is a rare survivor of the 1920s and 30s era of aviation. The Metropolitan Airports Commission, which has owned and operated the airport since 1944, and the Federal Aviation Administration, the State Historic Preservation Office, the Indian Affairs Council, the state archaeologists, and the city of St. Paul have restored the beacon and tower to preserve its historic significance and its place on the city skyline. And it's crazy though that y'all ain't got no plaque about the Indians. Shit. This was Indian shit. And I ain't talking about no Native Americans. Cause they got a thing right here say Native American graves, protections and Repatriation Act of 1990. But we know that Native Americans are the people right now that's on the reservations, and those are not American Indians. It's a difference. Yeah. The Native Americans ain't indigenous to America. They from Siberia. And they go, no, they didn't cut a path like. That's what I'm saying. This thing 10 miles. This whole thing was a mound. Yeah, but we so-called African Americans today, we the American Indian. They used to call us the Indian. You know what I'm saying? That's all YT people's terms, but you know, you gotta find your tribal name, you know. I know my people was Creeks, Cherokees. Yeah. Okay, yeah, see it slope up right here too. Yeah. Mound over here, yeah. Yeah, this thing is homes. Now they got homes around here. They turned it into a park. But yeah, I'm in St. Paul, Minnesota. Yeah, this be the big Indian shit going on around here. Yeah. Hey, tennis court. I know ain't nobody played on this motherfucking 30 years. You see, they talking about 1929 and all that. They constructed that beacon. Yeah. Yeah, they done found this mound just like they did all the whole bunch of other ones. And you gotta go up right there and destroy them. So you know, 10 miles they probably stretched all the way over here, past these houses. There's mounds over there. Man, tore them up. It's just the remnants of it. And they knew what they were finding. When they came upon this site, they was just like, damn, look at this shit. But yeah, man, and then trying to, every place I go to travel, I'm gonna Google Indian mounds and see what come up. But yeah, the American Indian built mounds. Native Americans can't say they built no damn mounds. This shit was here way before they got it. But yeah, I just wanted to check this out, y'all. And it still go over there. So still hump over there too. Like I said, it's 10 miles. Man, this was big. You know, they tore it up though, made it apart. YT people that moved in. But yeah, DJ Bob, man. Just checking on, you know, checking in, putting out a little history. All right, y'all. Big Indian shit going on. Peace out.